Welcome to News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for August 19, 2020. Beginning September 8th, park hours are going to be reduced at all 4 Walt Disney World theme parks, and while select dining locations appear to still be accepting reservations for up to an hour after park close, many aren't extending hours, and as a result, guests are now receiving cancellation notices for their upcoming dining reservations. Readers of the site have reached out to us regarding upcoming dining reservation cancellations at Garden Grill as an example, which is now set to close with the rest of Epcot at 7 p.m. starting on September 8th. The park currently closes at 9 p.m. daily. It's clear that most restaurants will not extend their hours to accommodate guests given the newly reduced hours, although at the Magic Kingdom, which closes at 6 in September, some restaurants are still showing times through 7 p.m., namely the Be Our Guest restaurant and Liberty Tree Tavern. However, we're seeing that dinner reservations are scarce at those times. The same is true at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which will be closing at 7 p.m., but 50's Primetime, Oga's Cantina, and the Sci-Fi Dine-In are still showing reservations until 8. At this time, it's unknown whether the reservation availability will change in the coming weeks. Guests with dining reservations affected by the newly reduced park hours can modify or cancel without any fees. Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa has been undergoing an extensive remodeling project, and while work continues at the resort, a new lawsuit has surfaced, shedding light on internal issues between Disney Vacation Club and the Velitas Construction Services, the contractor initially hired for the project. A new report from the Orlando Sentinel's Gabrielle Rusin covers all aspects of the lawsuit, from a fire code violation to issues with misogynistic comments from Disney's own construction team. Velitas Construction Services owner Nicole Wickens has filed a lawsuit against DVC management, citing unspecified damages for breach of contract and negligent misrepresentation. Velitas, which has worked on other remodeling projects across Walt Disney World, including the cabins at Fort Wilderness, was hired to oversee the Saratoga Springs project, which was set to begin in April of 2019 and finish in November. However, the fire code violation was found, leading to major construction delays and inflated costs. The reservation was budgeted at $48 million originally. According to the lawsuit, the fire code violation had been in place for more than 15 years without having previously been corrected by Disney. Rooms lacked proper fire protection in the cavities between floors, requiring numerous walls to be removed in order to make the necessary repairs. Disney denied extension requests so that the renovation would stay on schedule. Disney eventually terminated the Velitas contract without cause this past April, handing over the project to a Velitas subcontractor for $13 million more than the original Velitas deal. However, the issues go far beyond mere construction, as Velitas owner Nicole Wickens is also accusing them of making misogynistic comments and belittling her with memes. Disney's project manager John Gavin is accused of referring to Wickens as something I can't even say on the show, among other instances of verbal harassment. Instances of construction team tech, I'm sorry, it was in the script and I'm like, I can't say that. I'm going to just go over it. Instances of the construction team texting her pictures of hot sauce packets to emphasize that Disney would put the heat on Velitas are also cited in the lawsuit. I guess also cited in the lawsuit is how unfunny all of these Disney contractors are. Talk about a bad sense of humor. Disney honored Wickens during its 2019 International Women's Day conference. A meeting was called this past February to discuss Gavin's behavior. However, Disney did not respond with comment on the lawsuit when prompted by the Sentinel. Disney Vacation Club members may soon have to purchase more points to access a full slate of benefits. According to DVCnews.com, Disney is reportedly raising the number of direct purchase points needed for membership extras to 125, an increase from the current 100, possibly within the next few weeks. Points must be directly purchased from Disney to be eligible and do not include resale points. Membership extras include discounts on annual passes, dining and merchandise, as well as Moonlight Magic after-hours events and access to the member-exclusive lounge at the Imagination Pavilion in Epcot. The direct purchase point minimum was first instituted for perks back in April 2016, though there were no stated amount at the time, only that some points had to be directly bought from Disney. That was raised to 75 points in February 2018 and again to 100 points last September. These new policies have been imposed onto new members. Pre-existing owners have had their status grandfathered in as each minimum was instituted. Following the end of the increased annual pass holder discount from 20 to 30% this past week, several new sales were found around Walt Disney World. We found the 3 signs together on a display of ear headbands inside the Magic Kingdom, where all 3 merchandise collections were represented. Guests who are fans of the Rainbow Collection can now purchase those at 30% off. We spoke with a customer who said they believe the sale would end in October, but an end date is unknown. With the arrival of the all-new Halloween merchandise, the Summertime Fun Collection is now out of season, so that too is also with select items marked at 30% off. Also, in honor of the 4th of July, the Americana collection is also a summer collection, so that too has been discounted to 30% off. Also, the Neon collection, which debuted recently. And last but not least, Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival merchandise is now 30% off as well. I do have to say again, select, because we know for a fact that pins are not a part of this, nor magic bands. And, first thing I said when I saw the red sign was, oh, definitely not pins and magic bands, but these discounts can be stacked with pass holder, vacation club, or cast member discounts as well. A new research report from Visit Florida outlines how COVID-19 has heavily impacted travel to Florida during the second quarter of the year. According to Visit Florida, Florida saw 12.8 million total hotel visitors during the second quarter, which is a 60.5% decrease compared to last year. Domestic travelers accounted for 98.1% or 12.6 million of Florida's total visitors, while international travel almost entirely halted. Of the 12.6 million domestic, 8.7 traveled by air, 8.7%. This was a 85.2% drop from last year. Occupancy of Florida hotels decreased by 55% from last year, and the average daily rate decreased 29.1%. These dramatic decreases happened while most Florida destinations, including Disney World and Universal, were closed, mind you, so I'm kind of surprised they're not bigger. Without these big draws and with air travel restricted, it makes sense that tourism decreased. These numbers are just preliminary, and Visit Florida will update them as more data becomes available. Tron Light Cycle Run has reached another milestone at the Magic Kingdom as installation has begun of the massive illuminated canopy the guests will travel under before entering the grid. The first canopy support piece has been installed and can be seen near the base of Space Mountain with the white metal curving upward. If you head on over to the Barnstormer queue, you can get an even better look at the new canopy taking shape. Canopy piece sits atop a combination of concrete pillars and temporary steel supports. The supports will be taken down after the completion of the canopy project. A more permanent diagonal white support has also been added. Workers were also on the roof of the show building, and a cherry picker was near the coaster's entrance into the grid. Tron Light Cycle Run is set to be completed in 2021, but Disney has not said just how far the delays due to COVID-19 are going to make that ride delayed. We assume it will, but hopefully not. Maybe it won't. Face masks are the new norm at theme parks, and even at the most magical place on earth, there's no exception to the rule, with guests required to keep their face mask on throughout their entire time in the Magic Kingdom, even for photographs. New at the Magic Kingdom is an audio reminder played near the park's icon Cinderella Castle, telling guests to keep their face mask on for photographs. The reminder stands out against the usual slew of announcements and reminders as it features the voice of a woman with a distinct accent stating the following, quote,
"Thank you for visiting us today. Please wear a face covering at all times, including when taking photographs. The exception would be when eating and drinking while stationary. Clean hands often and thoroughly. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, and maintain physical distancing. Thank you."
Keeping face masks on for photographs, be it ones you take yourself or through a PhotoPass photographer, has been an established rule since the reopening of the parks, but I would say the greatest mask violation I've seen since Disney World reopened has been guests taking photographs. Hidden in plain sight along the newly completed entrance gardens of Epcot is a rusted hunk of junk from a galaxy far, far away. Literally. It's from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios. This side of the gardens debuted with the reopening of the park back in July, and it seems they had to improvise when it came to a manhole cover, as themed Batoon manhole covers are in place near the park entrance. The manhole cover sticks out like a sore thumb with its excessively worn, rusted exterior and geometric design that resembles the ancient script of the Star Wars universe. When juxtaposed with the white, sleek, futuristic lighting fixtures nearby, plus the newly installed lucite pylons and Spaceship Earth, you can tell how out of place it is. These manhole covers can be seen throughout Galaxy's Edge at both Hollywood Studios and Disneyland. Elsewhere through Epcot, it's just the plain old Walt Disney World manhole cover. Of course, though, Project Gamma has some new Epcot-centric manhole covers coming eventually. We first revealed this concept art back to you in June of 2019 with the all-over Spaceship Earth design featuring the new Epcot logo. I can't wait to see these. I'm so excited for these manhole covers. I say that with a straight face. With the reopening of Disney's Hollywood Studios, there's been a lot of changes to adapt to, such as the new Park Pass system and modifications to nearly every inch of the parks. For the most in-demand attraction in the world, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is also seeing changes in both how guests are able to visit the attraction. Thankfully, however, a new update to the My Disney Experience app can help guests, especially with larger groups, to book a boarding pass successfully for their entire party for the attraction. So in order to have any chance to ride the attraction, as you know, you have to join the virtual queue system, and this can be done at either 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. Previously, once you'd hit join, you would then have to select everyone in your party that's in the park, and then you can try to get a boarding group. Now, to simplify this, when you get to that next screen where you have to choose the members of your party, it will pre-select everyone in your friends and family who is actually scanned into the park. This is great because parties of more than one would often lose a lot of ground while selecting the other members in their party, and sometimes even boarding groups would vanish in the time it took for guests to select every guest in their party that wanted to join them. So now with this being done automatically, it does give you a much better chance of joining a group as quickly as a party of one does. That being said, obviously, if there's some people in your party who don't want to join you for the ride, or mistakenly, you have friends there who you didn't know were there, and you don't want them, you can uncheck them before moving on to the next screen. This will cost you some time, but it is still possible. In the end, I think a positive change. Just this week, 2 of the Coca-Cola droid carts inside Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios began selling Gold Squadron Lager, in addition to the highly popular thermal detonator-style Coca-Cola items. The Gold Squadron Lager was originally exclusive to OGA's. It'll run you $14 at the cart. For a full review of the beverage, check out our website. Heading back to Rise of the Resistance, it's been the subject of so many headlines lately, but unfortunately, the ambitious attraction has suffered a number of flaws as of late, including just today. We were live streaming from the park, and we had what I would consider the worst ride we've had on the attraction just yet. We're going to show you some video footage now. Warning if you haven't seen this ride yet. First of all, the screens in which stormtroopers appear throughout the ride were completely blank, so we were shot at by no one. Along the ceiling, blast effects would still go off, and it's just weird. Another scene where we transition past an AT-AT, the screen cockpit that would show some First Order personnel inside was also blank. Probably not as big of a problem. The ship was still there shooting, or the ship. It's a walker. The walker was still there shooting at us. But moving past that, we had several audio problems in different rooms, leaving you with sudden silence or missing music or missing character dialogue from Lieutenant Beck. And then to round this all out, for the last 2 days, Kylo Ren, the final animatronic in the attraction, is in B mode, where he just appears in a spaceship on a screen and just kind of slowly gets knocked out of the way. It's not very exciting. But yeah, no, this is pretty sad, especially if today was your first time going on the ride, which we actually have some viewers who were there for the first time today who I saw, and it's a pretty sad first ride. It's a lot of things not working. So hopefully this will be addressed soon, and I would hope they don't open under this condition again. It's really a shame, and I think it's at the point where I think even a tourist would notice these things, and that's bad. With the upcoming reopening of Disney's Yacht Club, the resort's various stores and restaurants are preparing to open as well, including the guest favorite Ale and Compass Lounge and Restaurant, set to open a few days earlier on August 20th. Do note that the Ale and Compass doesn't show times before August 24th on the website. However, on the Know Before You Go Resort Hotel landing page of the Disney World website, it does tell you that they reopen tomorrow. Also worth noting is that the Beach Club Marketplace is going to be expanding its items into the solarium at the Beach Club for a new makeshift marketplace for both Yacht Club and Beach Club resorts. Transportation-wise, guests are somewhat limited, as buses will only be available to the Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and Springs. The only transportation available to Hollywood Studios is via the Skyliner at the International Gateway Station, and no transportation is provided at all to Epcot, as the Friendship boats are still yet to resume service. While there's been no official word about Disneyland's full reopening, guests were recently sent cancellation emails for arrivals through September 5th. Now guests are able to make hotel reservations at select Disneyland Resort hotels beginning September 16th. For now, the Grand Californian and Paradise Pier Hotel are both available, but the Disneyland Hotel is not available until October 1st. Downtown Disney District has been open for several weeks now, but the theme parks, of course, remain closed. And while these dates suggest a mid-September reopening, that is subject to change, as we've learned at this point. It's good to be bad, and now with this new Maleficent horn headband, it could be fashionable too. Summon dark sorcery with this new headband, fashioned after the iconic horned headdress of the Mistress of All Evil from Sleeping Beauty. The padded horns feature all over iridescent glitter against a black background. Purple sequin spiral around each horn with a light green velvet lining on the headband. All you need now is a couple of crow henchmen, a staff, and maybe a spindle. Currently find these ears at the World of Disney. We also saw them at Hollywood Studios today. Waking up sometimes can feel like rising from the grave, but thankfully you can enjoy a morning pick-me-up with a new Haunted Mansion wallpaper mug. The black mug features the pattern in purple with the Haunted Mansion's logo on the mug interior. It retails for $14.99, and we found this at World of Disney as well, but it is slowly becoming available resort-wide. We noticed some new sequin-covered Minnie Mouse ears have hit the parks. These emerald green ears may not technically be Halloween merch, but they look good with some of the orange and purple items. The sequins cover the outside of the headband, and of course there's a shiny bow sitting on the headband between the two ears. Found these at the Emporium and also at Legends of Hollywood, at Disney's Hollywood Studios, for $29.99. Step out in style with this new dress inspired by the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. This red dress resembles the iconic bellhop costume that cast members wore and still wear at the Tower of Terror. The collar and waist have the same gold and black stripes from the bellhop uniform. The dress is a halter top with black straps on the back. It buttons at the collar and zips up in the lower back. The back of the dress has the numbers from the above the elevator door, above the Hollywood Tower Hotel text logo. The skirt is subtly patterned with the Hollywood Tower Hotel logo as well. This dress is currently available at the dress shop at Disney Springs, or again, Legends of Hollywood. It is $128. Kind of reminds me, I thought of it as if there was a cocktail server at maybe the Tip Top Club or something of that sort. I don't know, something struck me like 1930s Art Deco cocktail server dress is kind of the vibe I got. Maybe I'm wrong. It's never too early to start stocking up on Christmas ornaments, and Disney has introduced 3 new Mickey Ear Hat Ornaments featuring some of your favorite attractions from the studios. It's a rock and roll Christmas with the Rock and Roller Coaster ornament, resembling the exterior of the attraction with the giant red guitar. The guitar neck continues onto the back of the ear hat, which also is decorated with music notes and a G-Force Records album. Next up is Phantasmic. This favorite nighttime spectacular can come to life on your tree. The front has the attraction's logo and Mickey and Simba on the ears. Mickey is facing off with Maleficent's dragon form, who sits atop the ear hat. And finally, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, featuring Ariel sitting atop the ear hat while Flounder and Sebastian float in the ears beside her. Ursula grins on the back on one of the ears while some fish friends play instruments on the other. Each of these ornaments retails for $24.99. We found them at Disney's Days of Christmas in Disney Springs. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to WDWNT.com. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, make sure you hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Stay safe, everybody.
Dreamfinders is WDW News Today's podcast all about the creative culture surrounding Disney parks. Authors, Imagineers, dancers, actors, photographers, filmmakers, and a whole lot more have all stopped by to chat about how Disney has inspired their artistic work.
But I still remember sitting in conference tables and looking across at Michael and Jeffrey Katzenberg and this sort of little 6-year-old inside of me going, what in heaven's name is going on here?
And we're off and running, and Tony needs someone to lay it out for him. And there's no architect available. So the next thing I know, I'm laying out the pavilion.
I got to tell you, I have not enjoyed a podcast so much. It's just a warm conversation, and a warm and intelligent conversation, which you don't find that often in podcasts.
Dreamfinders. Episodes drop every other Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcatcher.